Are the interactions with your friends and family starting to feel monotonous? Are the people around you consumed by negative energy? Are these conversations starting to drain you? Are you starting to feel uncomfortable in places you once felt comfortable? This is because as we evolve, we actually outgrow situations. So we're not just walking away from toxic people. We just have to walk away from people who are no longer in alignment with us. Because in a sense, they are pulling us back. So it's time to let go. Let go of anyone who's no longer in alignment with your soul. My name is Cleary. I'm a feminine empowerment coach. I specialise in healing after narcissistic abuse, and I also offer twin flame and spiritual guidance. This is it. As we evolve and as we ascend on this journey, we tend to leave our toxic situations behind. We leave toxic dynamics behind. And as difficult as that is, it's even more difficult when we have to leave people behind who haven't really done anything wrong. They're just not evolving with us. And that's the thing. They're still in that 3D world and they're still living in that false reality. And this is it. As we evolve, this negative chatter, this low vibration energy, this lack mentality, this gossip mentality, this moan and groan society, it's no longer for us. And we were part of it. It was what we knew. We were conditioned to be a part of this society. We were conditioned to feel negativity all the time, to be in fear all the time. And we were once comfortable in those situations. You know, we were a part of the gossip ring. We were. And it was just because it's all we knew. It wasn't because we're bad people. I'm not saying gossipers are bad people. Sometimes it's just because it's learned behavior and you don't know any different. Other times it's because gossipers really just have no love for their own lives that they have to speak about other people. But as we're starting to become our true selves and our best selves, these conversations, oh my God, it's just like, how was I ever, you really do ask yourself, how was I ever a part of this? And it's the same conversations over again and over and over again. It's the same moaning, the same groaning, the same why me energy, the woe me energy. And, you know, we don't start to see it until we evolve ourselves, because we were in that ourselves. We were the woe me society. We were the moan and groan society. But as we start, it's I don't know what it feels like. It's like, you know, that ick feeling. It's like, oh my God, it's on my skin kind of energy. And you're like, you know, you're around your friends and family now, and you're like, oh my God, how are you still talking like this? How are you so unevolved? And that's what it is. They're so unevolved. And I think a lot of times this is harder for us because, well, it's hard to leave a toxic dynamic. It's hard to leave a toxic family situation, a toxic relationship, a toxic work situation. That's difficult. Even though you know it's supposed to happen, because of that codependency or because of that abuse, that trauma, it is very difficult to leave these situations. But when you're actually looking around people who have been really good to you their whole lives and they haven't actually done anything wrong, they actually haven't, and you've known these people your whole life and you're like, oh, I just don't feel comfortable here anymore. And it's just like, oh my God, I love you so much, but I don't want to be here. Do you know that kind of energy? And it's just like, and you will know, because I describe this. Any kind of negativity for me as I started to do my healing and evolve, it's like this it's like a little dig, a little stab. You know what I mean? And like every time I hear negativity, it's like my internal being just kind of goes, oh God, no. And I kind of close up and up and up a little bit more. So if I'm surrounded by that for too long, which I did do, I ended up losing all my life force energy. I lost all my will to live and I lost everything about me because it was a family member and I didn't step away from the negative energy straight away. And that's it. Like, and it's those conversations that never change. It's that negative lack mentality that really, oh Jesus, like, you know, these people have nothing to talk about except how miserable they are. And it's like, if you speak about how miserable you are all the time, you know what's going to happen? You're going to be more fucking miserable. You know what I mean? If you wake up every day and start moaning about the back pain or start moaning about the weather, you're going to have a miserable fucking day because you're a miserable fucking person. I'm sorry, but like, that's why I used to be. And I used to be quite depressed, anxious, pessimistic, all of the above. plus some. You know what I mean? So I know what it's like. You know what I mean? I know what it's like to be in that cloud of darkness and think everything is against you, the whole world hates you, and that fucking hell, you know, everything is a run of bad luck. But I've also learned that talking about this shit makes it more intense and adds more to it. And you know, it's just so annoying. I've been reminded of all the conversations I've had years ago. You know, and the first thing, you know, especially in Ireland, the first thing people are going to moan about is the weather. Then that pain in their fucking foot or something. Then the person who died down the fucking road. Then how much money they don't fucking have. And you're like, within a space of 2 minutes, you're kind of going, you're in their energy, which is really depressed and low. And that's it. You will know straight away. And like, you know, obviously I didn't cop this years ago because I was in that Moan and Groan energy anyway. And, you know, so obviously, you know, if somebody started talking about something miserable, I'd be like, yeah, guess what? I've got something miserable to talk about as well. Yeah, we all have something miserable to talk about. So we used to always be in that same energy. So we kind of excited talking about how miserable we were because it's all we ever fucking knew. And now if I'm even in earshot of something negative, I'm like, no, cut off me fucking ear kind of energy. It's like, go away. Keep that shit to yourself. If you have nothing good to say or nothing positive to say, please keep yourself quiet. Because in fairness, the way I see it is just don't add to it. If you're always moaning, if you're always worried, if you're always negative, if you're always exaggerating the worst case scenario out of every situation, you're attracting that into your life. You're literally going, hey, give me more of this shit. Because the more you talk about it, the more you're going to attract it into your life. So the more you speak positively, the more positivity comes into your life. So this is so important to understand when to walk away from these kind of people. And you know, we do this again and again, right? And I've said this, I think, in a recent video. It's like, when it's really close friends or when it's a family member or someone you've known your whole fucking life, it's like, no, it's all right. No, it's fine. Actually, no, this is the same with toxic relationships. This is the way we're creatures of fucking habit. We're like, oh my God, it's okay. It's fine. There's some good bits here. That's okay. I'll put up with the bad bits. And you're like, everything will be okay because the person does a nice thing and you're like, oh my God, I love that person. And then all of a sudden things go back to normal. And then all of a sudden, bang, the shit hits the fan and something bad happens again. And you're like, oh, that's the reason I should have walked away. And that's to say, that can happen with toxic situations. But when it comes to just friendships, you just start to feel that uneasiness. You start to feel uncomfortable. You start to just feel like you're not supposed to be there anymore. And, you know, I remember I said this to you guys before, like I used to, you know, I had a great group of friends and Jesus, I loved them so much. You know, I thought they'd be with me to the end if they helped me through so much of my bad situations. And one of them was very anti-spirituality. So as I grew, she got more narcissistic. And I just remember I used to feel so alive at this place. That was my second home. I used to feel so alive. It brought me the joys of life. And I used to drink with them and have parties with them. But I started to cut down on the drink. I eventually stopped drinking. And I just remember at one stage I would have been standing there looking around going, this is it. This is my forever people. I love these guys. And then it started to get to the stage where I was standing there kind of going, I felt like I was outside of the group. Everyone was kind of doing things around me and I was just standing here going, this doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel right. And you know, anytime prior to going up, and this was the same with my dad as well, anytime prior to going visiting towards the end, I used to get my tummy always reacts. That's when I know there's something wrong. And my tummy was reacting and I wasn't listening and, you know, so I was pulling back a bit. So I wasn't visiting as much because I kind of knew from the signs eventually that, Jesus, you know, you can't really be around this anymore. And then I try again, just kind of go, maybe it won't be too bad. Maybe I can go the odd time and it'll be all right. But then you kind of keep going and then the next time it's like, oh no, I don't like this. And then there's another gap and you're like, sure, we're fucking, I'll do it again. Sure, I'll do it again. And then you go back and you're like, oh, this is why I was supposed to walk away ages ago. And you kind of come to the realization that it's like, this just isn't for you anymore. And that is, it's really hard to, it's hard. It's hard because, you know, those people didn't really do anything wrong and you have to leave them. And you're like, but do I have to? And you kind of fucking do though. Yeah, you do. You know, and it's like, you know, I even said that as well. I was like, I could still go up. You know, there's only one of them that's turned narcissistic. I could go up and I just not spend as much time with her. You know, why do I have to lose 6 other friends? There was 6. Am I 7? There was, you know, a group of friends because one of them went bad. Why can't I just go up and you know, I'll be okay. I'll be able to protect my energy. But I got to the stage where I was like, you have to admit defeat here. You have to actually admit the fact that you can't go back there. You know, because even being in earshot, oh my God, even in earshot of negative energy, it's like, no, go away. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the thing. Like, I'd be walking down the street and I'd hear somebody saying something negative, especially in Ireland. I keep saying this, people are fucking miserable. Sorry, but we are. Well, I was. I'm not anymore, thankfully. But like, you know what I mean? And Jesus, and that's the thing with Irish people. It's like, it's raining all the time and they hate rain, so therefore they're miserable all the time. And it's just like, oh my God, use other words. Like, literally, the Irish people will look at the weather and go, it's miserable. Just, it's miserable. As if the whole fucking thing is miserable. Anyway, but like, that's the thing, like, you know, and I remember, I remember this actually. I was working in different factories and I was working with multinationals and I loved them. Oh my God, I met so many friends. It's like traveling the world from the one spot. Loved them so much. And, you know, I learned a little bit of their languages and stuff, but I used to smoke, right? And I was working in this factory and there was a group of Irish people who smoked. And then there was a group of, it was Croatians, I think they were. And, you know, they were on either side. I used to feel more comfortable sitting with the Croatians while they were speaking in their own language. I didn't hear a word they were saying, rather than stand with the Irish people who were bitching and being negative. Because it's like, I understand the Irish people. I understand that they're having a low vibration conversation. I would rather sit amongst around a few people that I can't understand, so that I don't hear the negative energy. And that used to make me feel so much better. That's so funny, like, you know, because I asked myself that at one stage. It's like, why am I so comfortable not understanding what they say? And it's like, because I don't have to partake in the low vibrational energy, if there is any, like, you know. And that's the thing. And it's just like, even earshot of this negative energy, you're kind of going, it still gets in. You know what I mean? It still gets in. And that's why I had to walk away from my friends. That's why I had to walk away from my dad, is because that negative energy was really depleting my mental and physical well-being. It really was fucking me up. You know, as I said, if I go to shop now and I hear something negative, I'm just like, I ask the angel straight away. It's like, protect me away from that. You know what I mean? Because even hearing it, oh my God, it's just, no, just hate negativity. And I used to be so pessimistic. You know, I really was. It's so funny, like, how pessimistic I was. But this is it. We're literally evolving and outgrowing our false life. And that's what it was. We were born into a world we didn't belong into. We learned toxic behavior and we were surrounded by low vibrational negativity and fear-based energy. And as we started to discover who we truly are, we realized, oh my God, this doesn't fit for me anymore. No, thank you. And it's just like, no, oh my God, it just actually gives me the creepy crawlies to fucking think about people being negative. No, I don't like it. Do you know what I mean? So, like, you really start to kind of, it's like you're in this group of people and like you know, all these are people and like you're one of these people and you're like in this group, but like literally you're in the group and it's just like slowly but surely you're backing away from the group and you're like, you're starting to see it in a different light and you're like, oh, I don't like this group anymore. You know what I mean? And they're good people and that's what's heartbreaking about it, is they're actually good people. They just haven't done their own healing, so they can't come with you. And we could be black and blue in the face trying to tell them, just come with me, do what I fucking, Jesus. When I started discovering the law of attraction, I was throwing the books at people. Well, not throwing them. I was literally giving away my copies to these people going, please come with me. Read this. It works. Please come with me. Please come with me. I was losing myself trying to help these people to bring them with me. And I just couldn't. And I was like, especially when they're your family or they've been in your life for so fucking long, you're like, I don't want to go without you. I don't want to go without you. And you do everything in your power to bring them with you. But you get to the stage where you realize you're only being pulled backwards. And that's the thing. If you stay in that environment too long, you're going to be pulled backwards. When I stayed around my dad for too long, I was gone to shit. 0. You know what I mean? Angela didn't exist for a long time because, there was a fear-based entity attached to me and everything. It was disgusting. Do you know what I mean? I was really in a bad place. And it took me longer to walk away from him because, he was my family. And it took me a long time to recover from that. So don't let it get that far. Don't be around that energy where it starts to deplete you, because that's the thing. As we're starting to evolve and grow, we start to notice it. So we can start to set those boundaries, or we can start to walk away. But if you don't listen to your body, if you don't listen to your soul, if you don't listen to your intuition, and you stay there for too long, it's going to end up depleting you so much that you're forced into leaving. And that's it. If you don't listen to the nudges, the universe are going to throw a hand grenade into your life to force you to do the things that you're supposed to do. If it's not in alignment with your soul, get the fuck out. Because you're going to be forced out if you don't otherwise. So don't let it get to a stage where you end up having a fight with somebody where you have to walk away. Just drift away. You can still be in contact with these people. You just don't have to be in their energy anymore. You can still be polite. You can still say, I love you. You can still do this and that. You can still, you just don't have to be, you don't have to go to these events anymore. If these events are depleting your energy, you don't have to surround yourself in this company anymore if it's too negative for your energy. If it's not in alignment with your soul, you have to say goodbye. So that's when you know when to walk away. We're escaping this Moan and Groan society. That's what we're doing. We were a part of this Moan and Groan society. And that's it. I heard that term the other day. I think I'm going to put that as the title of the video because it's a fact. And, you don't even have to have heard the term Moan and Groan society before to know what it fucking is. Because we're all surrounded by people who moan and groan the whole fucking time. So this is what we're doing. We're evolving out of it. We're outgrowing that situation. And we're transforming into our best selves, but we're transforming out of that conditioned, learned behavior. And unfortunately, we are going to have to leave people behind, but these are not your people. People come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Now, what was that reason? Because even if you met somebody for 5 fucking minutes, they would have brought something into your life. They would have helped you in some way. A lot of people are there for a long part of your life, and they have helped you through so much. And these are unfortunately the ones that we have to walk away from. What I do know is that when we do walk away from the people that no longer serve us, we welcome in the ones that are a part of our soul tribe. So they're the ones that are going to be there for the lifetime. So trust the process. When you let go of something, it leaves room for something bigger and better to enter. And I know it is hard. It is hard to let go of people we love. But love yourself and choose yourself. And embrace the reality that you're stepping into and say goodbye to the one that no longer serves you. So thank you so much for listening today, and I really hope this resonates. If it does, please like and share. And please subscribe to my channel so I can reach as many people as possible. And if you'd like help on your journey, please book me for a discovery call today, and I'd love nothing more than to help you in your path.